Hi, good morning. Okay, so last week we were obviously focusing on two-digit numbers and one-digit numbers. Wasn't last week, sorry, because we had a break, didn't we, with English the week before that. We're going to do some steps now that are hopefully going to lead us up eventually to doing two-digit and two-digit numbers. It is a really, really big step, so I would advise you just to go as slow as needed with this. Lots of practice is key. So we're going to start today by adding 10 to a tens number. Okay, so we're only working with tens. And just to remind you about our tens and ones, okay, if I had, say, for instance, the number 47, and this is a really nice warm-up, just to make sure that we know our tens and ones, and then draw it, but using your tens and ones. Remember, we do the stick and the dot, don't we? If I was to draw it like the base 10, we've got those little sticks and sort of little tiny cubes at school. Okay, they would look a bit like that, wouldn't they? Okay, but we're going to draw it easier, just doing a stick and a dot. Okay, so here is my number. I've got 47. So I'm going to draw my tens, which are here. 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. And here are my ones. I've got 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a really good place to start. If we're struggling with this concept, maybe don't move on to the next bit of learning yet. Just practice writing some two-digit numbers and drawing it using your sticks and dots. Okay? If you are confident with that, we're going to move on to the learning that is for today. Okay, so I've got one example here. So here is a tens number. We've got 60, add 10 equals. Okay, now the hope is that eventually they will be able to use tens to be able to add them on. And sometimes they find this easier than drawing it. I am going to show you how to draw it. However, if they can hold 60 in their head and add 10 more on them, please do encourage it. Obviously, we don't want to confuse them with tricky messes. This is just for if they're not quite at that point yet. Okay, so I'll do it both ways just to show you. Okay, so for instance, we've got 60 here. Now you'll notice, what do you notice about these numbers? What, don't they have any? They don't have any ones, do they? So we're not going to be using our ones today. We're only going to be using our tens, okay? So in this number, I've got 6 tens. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I've got no ones, so I don't need to draw any dots today. Here, I've got 1 10. And I've got no ones again. Now, I can add up all my tens. I would encourage counting in tens and not 1, 2, 3, as in 3 tens, etc. So, we're going to count in tens, because these are tens. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, now all of these numbers are going to end in 0 because we have no ones to add. Okay, so that's an example of one. Let's do another. Now, the nice one about today is that it is just adding 10. Okay, so it's the same sorts of patterns each time. Okay, so in this one, I've got 4 tens. 2, 3, 4. And I'm adding on 1 more 10. Now, I'm going to add up those tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Nice and simple, okay? And the last practice one I'm going to do, I'm almost going down in numbers, we started trickier. Okay, so now I've got 3 tens, 2, 3, still got no ones, okay, and I've got 1 more 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 10, 20, 30, 40. Now, if you did the times table learning last week and you looked at the hopscotch song, for the times 10 one, this would really help with them counting on in their tens. But it's a tricky one because a lot of the time it's struggling. They'd have to probably start at 10 and go all the way through the song because it's sometimes really hard to hold 30 in your head and then just go straight from 30 to the next 10. So by that I mean, if you want to do it without drawing it, you can just use your times tables. So if I've got, for instance, 50 add 10, you can go through your 10 times table song. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, one more 10 is 60. But as I said, I would only do that if that's easier. Okay, so good luck with the learning today, and please don't worry if it takes you a few days to do this. It's absolutely not a race. It's just about getting that knowledge really nice and confident. So hope you enjoy.